The General Hospital recap features Willow taking a big step with Nina. In this episode, Willow asked to see a very surprised Nina, while Michael tried to be supportive. Carly gave Sam a surprise as they continued their friendly chat. Lucy started hurling accusations, but so did Tracy when she asked Diane to be her lawyer. Finally, Felicia searched through Marty's Metro courtroom and discovered something that ties back to a sleepy little Pennsylvania town many of us should be familiar with. Now let's dive a little deeper into the details. Michael, Chad Duell, was surprised when Willow, Caitlin McMullen, told him that she wanted Nina to be part of her visiting bubble of friends and family once she was home. She explained that she had been thinking a lot about forgiveness during her time in isolation. She felt she should share her miracle with people who deserve it like Carly, Laura Wright, and also with people who don't deserve it like Nina, Cynthia Reeves. Willow apparently neglected the fact that Nina delivered the miracle in the form of Aunt Liesel, Kathleen Gaddy, while Carly kept her family away from her for nearly a year, so she almost never got her miracle. Still, she was ready to try to show some sort of grace and forgiveness, and didn't want to waste any more time in her life feeling so angry. She even thanked her nurse for getting her to see the world wasn't all about her. Nina was happy to think about Willow going home soon, but was still heartbroken to not be a part of her life. Sonny, Morris Bernard, tried to be optimistic, but it didn't do much good. He pointed out the obvious, that Nina gave Willow the gift of life twice, especially most recently with Liesel's bone marrow. Michael disrupted their talk with the news that Willow was given the all-clear, but she needed to see Nina before heading home. Sonny brought Nina to the hospital to see her daughter, but Nina got cold feet. She didn't bother mentioning some of it was caused by knowing she was the one who turned in Carly and Drew, Cameron Matheson, to the SEC. Still, Sonny and Willow's kind nurse managed to get her to enter Willow's room so mother and daughter could talk. The conversation was awkward at first, but when Nina asked what she could do to help, Willow told her that she'd like her to help by visiting once she was home. Willow explained her bubble of friends situation, and Nina was overwhelmed with the idea that Willow wanted to include her in it. Still, Willow made it clear that she wanted Nina to be nice to Carly. Nina promised that she would make peace. As former enemies, Carly and Sam, Kelly Monaco, spent more odd bonding time together. Carly announced she was going to sell her house, but Sam pointed out it's a home and tried to talk her out of it. She also worried that Drew would be sad when he eventually found out. Plus, Donna is very important and loves her house, so how can Carly leave her house behind? Carly pointed out that Sam had some good points as she talked about all her good family memories through the years, but she felt she didn't have a choice but to sell, take the cash, and move on. Sam still wanted Carly to think this through more, but she decided a new home would help create a new version of herself. However, Diane, Carolyn Hennessy, soon showed up and had an idea to help Carly financially that would not involve selling her house. Earlier, Tracy, Jane Elliott, and Diane met at the Metro Court pool, where Tracy handed Diane a check as a legal retainer. Tracy believes the idea for the Deceptor was stolen by deception and was ready to sue. She also couldn't stop staring at Martin, Michael E. Knight, who was there to take in some rays while wearing a suit. Diane just wanted to know how she got all this confidential info from Deception. Tracy refused to answer that and instead accused the Deception ladies of intellectual theft. Diane just wanted to know who Deception got the intellectual property from, but Tracy didn't say. Diane still took Tracy's check and asked for a third of the cut if they win the case. When Diane left, Tracy approached Marty and told him she had a proposition for him. Sasha, Sophia Matson, was ready to take newly prescribed addictive Benzies, just as Brooke Lynn, Amanda Seton, and Lucy, Lynn Herring, walked in thrilled that the charges against Cody had been dropped. However, Lucy was more concerned about where Maxie was. When she finally arrived, Lucy announced they had a snake in their midst. She even thought Maxie was that snake as the download came from Maxie's computer. Lucy questioned Brooke Lynn next, and she wasn't sure what to say. Felicia Christina Wagner donned a hotel maid disguise and broke into Martin's hotel room in search of info as to why he's been acting strange of late. However, she soon turned up at Maxie's place to babysit and joined James and Mac, John J. Dork. She hinted about having a new case and then dumped Martin's hotel garbage out on a sheet to look for clues. That's when Felicia noticed that Marty gets a $50,000 deposit every month. Lo and behold, all the deposits were coming from a town in Pennsylvania called Pine Valley. GH Spoilers Weekly Update for July 3 to 7, 2023. Tease the week ahead is full of a summons and a warning. Tune in next week so you can catch all of the action in Port Charles. This week was a big one in Port Charles. Ned Wally Kurth continued to believe he was Eddie and tried to make a debut at the Savoy. Later he turned to Nina, Cynthia Watros, with plans to skip town, and she didn't exactly discourage those plans, considering Ned is the one who knows she snitched. Ava Maura West got quite a shock when Austin Roger Howarth kissed her, but she wasn't having it. Drew, Cameron Matheson, and Carly Laura Wright spent their last evening together before he headed to prison. Cyrus, Jeff Kober, was interested in the soon-to-be new inmate. Coming up, Tracy, Jane Elliott, summons Diane, Carolyn Hennessy, and Drew receives a gift. Nina gets good news. Brooklyn issues a warning. Also expect to see Curtis, Donald Turner, and Marshall, Robert Gossett, support TJ, Taj Bello, and later Curtis and Sam, Kelly Monaco, touch base. Carly and Sam clear the air. Drew receives a gift. Gladys is dismayed. Cody meets with Scott. Dante is suspicious. Trissy summons Diane. Cody struggles with his conscience. Felicia does some digging. Nina gets good news. Martin is propositioned. Molly opens up to Christina Curtis and Marshall support. TJ Brooklyn issues a warning. Finn expresses his regrets. Terry encourages Elizabeth. Trissy won't take no for an answer. Liz and Portia catch up. Sam touches base with Curtis. Sunny reassures Dante. Anna is insistent. The General Hospital recap features the return of Cyrus Renault, as it seems not much about his prison life has changed. In this episode, Drew and Carly professed their love as Cyrus prepared to have a new pal in Pentonville. Trina and Spencer went to the Highsider looking for evidence against Esmond as if it was 2022 all over again. Joss and Dex were there for the same reason, and things got ugly. At Windermere, Austin and Ava discussed the mess they're in. Finally, Portia tried to sweet-talk Esmond while Violet set Finn and Liz up on a date. Now let's dig a little deeper into the details. Drew, Cameron Matheson, and Carly Laura Wright tried to ignore the fact that it was their last night together. Drew felt his decision to go to jail was an honorable one. Carly just felt guilty because she didn't use Michael's Chad Duell Pikeman video against Sonny Morris Bedard. Carly admitted she was guilty of insider trading and didn't think she could live with the idea of Drew going to prison to protect her. Drew thought the whole plan was only logical. He couldn't let her turn in Sonny because it would have hurt Sonny's children and Carly's, so again, he was hurting his own child instead by taking the fall for Carly's crime. He confessed his undying love for her, and Carly was amazed. She loved Drew too, and agreed to wait for him for 3 years until he got out of jail for paying for a crime she committed. We then saw good old Cyrus Renault, Jeff Kober, reading the Bible and telling a guard that he wanted special arrangements made for the newest inmate, who was on his way, Drew Kane. Spencer, Nicholas Alexander Chavez, and Trina, Tabiana Ali, went back to the Highsider bar to once again find someone who knew that Esmond Avery Kristen Pohl bought a black market phone there. It was as if we'd gone back in time a year. Jocelyn, Eden McCoy, and Dex, Evan Hofer, also decided to visit the bar where Sam, Kelly Monaco, and Dante, Dominic Zamprogna, were trying to enjoy a quiet date. They sat with their beers and watched all the goings-on. Dex and Joss were there for the same reason as Spencer and Trina. But Spencer was not happy to learn Trina had told Joss about the fake evidence from Victor. He also inadvertently revealed that he kept the evidence, much to Trina's chagrin. Dex warned Spencer that taking evidence to the police wasn't as easy as he believed. When Dex didn't want to have anything to do with Spencer and voiced it, Spencer decked him for no real reason. That prompted Dex to go at Spencer even harder and essentially beat him. Dante had to be the one to break things up and point out that most of this group wasn't even 21 yet, so maybe it was best if they left. Joss and Dex left, but Spencer and Trina stayed so they could argue about Dex, the fake evidence, and Spencer's self-entitled attitude. She couldn't stand it anymore and walked out, leaving Spencer heartbroken. Trina ended up running to her mother, who she has no idea was just trying to set up Spencer and Esme. Earlier, Portia, Brooke Care, called Esme over to talk, and she brought Ace along with her to see what Portia had to say. Portia wanted to know how she and Spencer planned to co-parent Ace. Esme insisted that she was Ace's only parent, and Portia told Esme that she understood what it was like to be a single parent. She had Taggart, Rael Andrews, there, and Esme has Spencer there, even if he is just Ace's brother. She even suggested that Spencer and Esme take a parenting class together. Esme was a bit skeptical of it, but Portia insisted it would be a good idea. In the end, she agreed to ask Spencer if he'd give it a go. Later, when Esme returned home, she was surprised to see a shirtless, injured Spencer. Ava, Maura West, made herself a martini to wind down from her eventful day, but Austin, Roger Howarth, came banging on Windermere's door. Austin justified taking Avery because he was indirectly saving both Pilar and Ava's daughter from Mason, Nathaniel Gray. Ava just wanted to know what Austin has gotten them into. Austin pointed out that he was in this mess because of her because she was the one who killed Nicholas and tried to hide the body. As Austin kept going on about Mason's boss, Ava demanded to know who the boss was. As expected, Austin didn't tell her and just explained these people were worse than the mob. Ava then read Austin for filth and pointed out that all his kindness when he came to town was just an act. She believed he was just following orders and wondered if she was really anything to him. So Austin asked if he was anything to her other than just a patsy. The pair sparred some more until Austin finally pulled Ava into a kiss. Finn, Michael Easton, was surprised when Elizabeth, Rebecca Herbst, knocked on his door, but it turned out that it was Violet, Juffiel Love, who invited her in a bid to play matchmaker. She even had flowers ready that she had bought with Finn's phone. The two adults resolved to have a date. Violet acted as a server while Liz and Finn had some awkward moments as they ate pizza and cupcakes on the couch before Elizabeth decided to leave.